Let's get into the headlines now. Let's see what the papers are saying this morning across Nigeria. And the first story we're starting, or the first newspaper we're starting with, is the First News. The First News says police arrest fleeing Adamawa wreck after the BBC interview from hideout. Okay? Grill him, others over Binani's illegal declaration as governor. All right, embattled Unisari says that I have no regrets, denies collecting 2 billion naira bribe from APC Goba candidates. Okay, all this you see on the front page of the First News. This is one of the stories making headlines now, making a lot of headlines now. All right, Blueprint newspaper is next. Blueprint says, police on Adamawa election saga. We have arrested Rek Yunusa Ari, others under investigation. All right, that's the resident electoral commissioner in Adamawa State. Assured justice will be served on the guilty parties. Rek honored invitation, wasn't arrested. Family saying this, all right? Rek honored invitation, wasn't arrested. Okay, that's what the Blueprint has. Now, the Nation newspaper is the next that we're going to. The Nation says, on Adamawa, police quiz detain Rek, that's the resident electoral commissioner. INEC commissioners, all right, INEC commissioner rather, Unisari gives herself up at force headquarters, says, I have no regrets. Okay, that's what the Nation has. Okay, let's go to this Nigeria. Yes, we got him, all right? That's the screaming headline you see there. Yes, we got him. Police confirm arrest of embattled Adamawa Rek. I don't regret my action, says Unisari. Okay, you see that on the front page of this Nigeria. From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. The Punch says, all right, the Punch is moving on now to something else. Tinubu's victory is the focus here. Legal battle begins Monday as Tribunal hears petitions. Okay, legal battle begins on Monday as Tribunal hears petitions. All right, APC expresses readiness, says it is aware of hearing date. And PDP Atiku will emerge victorious, legal team tells Nigerians. All right, I recall that there has been petitions from the just concluded general election against the president-elect. And all of that, all the teams will be in court or will be at the tribunal to defend their clients. Okay, that's what the Punch newspaper has. And let's move now to Daily Trust. Daily Trust is on the Senate presidency. Akpabio Yari scramble for PDP senators. Akpabio Yari scramble for PDP senators. That's what Daily Trust has in here. Kemi.
Right. Well, it's a different toe of line now for the papers I have with me. Looking at the Nigerian News Direct, the big story there is on the sentencing of the Ekweremadus. That's the former Deputy Senate President and his wife, who are due to be sentenced on Friday in UK after their conviction. Now, the paper says, Reps ECOWAS Parliament flood UK court with leniency plea. Time takes tension builds as UK court delivers sentence on Friday. Leadership says, ahead of inauguration, rents, property values surge in Abuja. Of course, this ahead of the May the 29th inauguration of the Tinubu administration. On Business Day, the big story there is cash-starved startups hunt revenues to woo investors. That's Business Day. And finally is the Nature News concern. It says, as charcoal business takes toll on Nigeria's forests and mangroves. Mike.
All right. Let's look at the story that is on most of the newspapers today, and that is the arrest of the resident electoral commissioner, the suspended resident electoral commissioner in Adamawa State. And this is stemming from his illegal announcement of the outcome of the supplementary election in Adamawa State. He's been in hiding since that time, but he granted an interview and he said that he wasn't served the order all the while, but now that he has been served, that he was going to give himself up to the police, and that was what happened. Yet, he said he has no regrets for what he did.
Interesting line from Barrister Udo, and of course, big questions that he would need to answer now that he has been taken into custody. Of course, as you rightly said, he has denied having doing anything wrong. And days before now, he was also reported to have written to the SSS, to the police, and I believe INEC as well, stating his own side of the whole saga. And INEC, in response, had said he should save all those explanations for the investigations, as the police had long written to him to heed the invitation and come and answer questions. But this is a big twist. It's also good news, at least so Nigerians will hope that answers will be delivered in the coming days, as the police PRO has said that not only him is going to be questioned, but several other officials. And he even went on to say in the letter I saw, indicting his colleagues, sitting resident electoral commissioners, I think there were 3 at the time, and he has gone on to say the other 2 were actually working for the PDP. These are allegations, of course, and we wait to see how all this will pan out. We hope it will not just be a news that fizzles out without much substance eventually, but this is outrageous, if you ask me, and we hope that we get some sense out of it all.
Yeah, exactly. The point there is, at times like this, it draws the attention of Nigerians to the questions they've been asking. Those who are resident electoral commissioners or who work full-time for INEC, how above board that they are, how apolitical that they have been. And he being a lawyer by profession, one expects that he should know whatever kind of circumstance, because we're hearing some reports that he was, there were some threats, to his life, to his family and all of that. Whatever he was doing it under, there were reports that we heard earlier, whether he did that under duress, but now he has come out to say that, well, he has no regrets. But the point there is, everyone who is saddled with the responsibility of moving democracy forward, the entire nation is resting on your shoulders at that time. And whatever you do and how you do it matters a lot, takes us forward or takes us backward. And what he did, like INEC chairman has said, dealt a heavy blow on the entire perception of INEC, whether it was done by the INEC chairman or done by the resident electoral commission. So long as it is an appendage of INEC that has done it, it goes a long way to cast aspersion on the entire process. And
after all, INEC also knows and is mindful of the onerous duty it carries, especially at that
critical time
of elections. So him being summoned, one could have seen the intervention. Many lauded the intervention of INEC and them suspending him and them ordering that the returning officer, Professor Igeli, should, be the one, according to the laws, to collate and announce the eventual winner. I think INEC was also, doing its own clean house policy. And for him now to say, well, he's innocent of all the charges, he stands on the side of the law because he's innocent until proven guilty. The police job is cut out to investigate, and if they feel they have a cogent case, they hand over to the court for prosecution. And of course, the president has also said his own piece, saying he endorses the suspension. So it's basically for the prosecution eventually to prove its case, and then it switches to him to prove his innocence, and then the court will decide. But I don't know, and I want to also take a line from Muyiwade Jobi, the spokesperson of the police, who says other people would also be investigated and are probably implicated in this whole scenario. So it's not just Hudusa now that should be in front of the cameras. It's not just him that should be in the news, but several others, politicians after all, because he was said to have declared Madam Binani, the winner of the election. So, you know, all the in-betweens now, Nigerians are waiting to see
No, of course.
more and more of this action.
You're right. Nigerians wait to see what the outcome will be, especially also the allegation of him being given 2 billion naira,
which he has
denied,
denied,
you know,
right.
but we'll wait to see all of that, right?